Hey there, I'm Brittany with Bhooked, and I'm working with Lovecrafts to show you how to knit the color block knit poncho. For this project, I'll be using Debbie Bliss Baby Cashmerino yarn, a 32-inch circular needle that's 4 millimeters, a 16-inch circular knitting needle that's also 4 millimeters, a yarn needle, and a pair of scissors. For a list of the yarn requirements and to see the other color palette options, download the pattern for free from Lovecrafts. It's available in 2 sizes, and I'll be referencing the smaller of the 2 sizes in the tutorial. Alright, let's get to it. Using color B, get yourself a nice long tail and cast on 224 stitches for the smaller size, or 238 stitches for the larger size. The stitch pattern we'll use for both the front and the back panel have a 4-row repeat starting with row 1. For row 1, knit every stitch. For row 2, knit the first stitch, then knit 2 together, and repeat that to the last stitch, and you'll knit the last stitch. For row 3, knit the first stitch, then knit front back, or KFB, to the last stitch, and then knit the last stitch. And for row 4, purl all stitches. That's the stitch pattern you'll use for the majority of this pattern. Now we need to work with some color. Repeat rows 1 through 4 until your panel measures approximately 6 inches for the smaller size, or 6.5 inches for the larger size, ending on a second row. At that point, you'll break color B and continue the same stitch pattern with color C. So you'll continue repeating rows 1 through 4 until your panel measures approximately 11 inches for the smaller size, or 11.5 inches for the larger size, again ending on a second row. At that point, you have 2 color blocks. You'll break color C and continue with the stitch pattern repeat, now with color A. So continue repeating rows 1 through 4 until your panel measures approximately 22 inches for the larger size, or 23 inches for the larger size, this time ending on a 4th row. That does it for the body panel. We can work a simple knitting bind off. Now just repeat the same steps for a second body panel. Now we'll add the ribbing. With color B and starting on the edge of the color B side, your cast on edge, pick up and knit 224 stitches for the smaller size or 238 stitches for the larger size. The ribbing repeat is really simple. It has one row to repeat. You'll knit 2, followed by purl 2. And you'll just repeat that to the end of the row. Then you'll repeat that row until your ribbing measures approximately 2 inches. To finish the ribbing, you'll work a bind off, but you want to do so in pattern. So knit 2, purl 2, keep that pattern working your bind off. Now for the best results, I recommend you wet block both panels before moving on to the assembly. Pin each panel down, stretching them slightly to the final measurements. For the smaller size, it's 33 inches wide by 25 inches long, and for the larger size, it's 35 inches wide and 26 inches long. Next, we'll seam the shoulders. Lay the 2 panels on top of one another with the right sides facing inward. Then seam from each outer edge inward 11.5 inches for the smaller size or 12.5 inches for the larger size. Now we'll move on to the neck. Turn the poncho so that it's right side out, and starting at one edge, pick up and knit with color A 156 stitches for the smaller size or 168 stitches for the larger size, evenly spacing them around the neck opening. Now the neck is worked in the same rib pattern as the body panels. So for round 1, you'll knit 2 and purl 2. And repeat to the end of the round. And since we have a 1 row repeat, we'll repeat round 1 until the neck measures approximately 6 inches long for the smaller size or 7 inches long for the larger size. To finish the neck, once again you'll bind off in pattern. Weave in your ends, and you're done. Thank you so much for watching how to knit the color block knit poncho. If you've enjoyed this one, we have even more tutorials available on Love Crafts, and if you subscribe, you'll never miss a video.